China is currently the largest market for electric buses or e-buses as at the end of 2022. More than in excess of 77% of all urban buses were new energy buses or new energy vehicles. That is China for you. So what is happening in China? As we talk so much about electric cars, what comes to mind is Tesla and others. And even Teslas are in America are being recalled because of their self-drive. There is a mistake in the self-driving feature, which they want to rectify because a lot of accidents are happening. So these buses, which are found in China, they are charged overnight. They charge them overnight. The buses are charged overnight, so you drive them during the day, and at night, you let them continue charging. So China showed it is mighty in terms of production of electric buses in 2008 Olympics in Beijing. During that time, athletes, guests, in 2008 Olympics in Beijing, athletes, guests, and the spectators were transported around the city or to the various stadiums or stadia in 595 green vehicles. So basically, China has taken the initiative to be at the forefront in the production of electric buses. The serious air pollution triggered the switch to electric vehicles in China because they say many Chinese cities are facing air pollution of highest order. It is estimated that 1.8 million public charging stations in 2022 were found in China. This was more than what could be found in another country. Though, as much as people like electric vehicles, the mining of lithium and nickel is emissions intensive. It produces a lot of emissions and pollution to the environment. So, even electric vehicles are not so environmentally friendly. It is further estimated that 421,000 of the world's 425,000 electric buses were in China in 2018. In 2018, that is how mighty China is. Those found in Europe at the time were 2,250, while only 300 electric buses were found in the US. So countries from Latin America are purchasing electric buses from China. For example, Santiago and Bogota. Bogota is in Colombia, Santiago in Chile. So Chile had the most Chinese e-buses at some point. At some point, they ordered 1,022 electric buses from China. So that is something to think about. That China was and still is the largest producer and exporter of electric buses. Not Tesla, not Toyota, not whatever you think, but it is China. And they have invested a lot into that for the period over the last 20 years. They have been investing in production of electric buses. in China and for the world, because they knew they could compete that way. But if they could continue producing combustion engine vehicles, they could not compete, because that way some companies had taken many years developing their engines, and hence were more efficient at producing those vehicles. So they decided to produce electric engines. Elsewhere, a lady called Amanda is a podcaster, but previously worked with the All Good. Amanda Bynes brings back her podcast. So what happened? It was there, but she stopped it after first episode. Why? This is because of lack of big name guests. Amanda said she was going to kill the podcast after one episode. Just one episode, and said, no, I will kill this episode. Now, because A-list musicians like Drake, Chuck Harlow, and Post Malone refused to join as her guests on podcast. Podcasts, of course, what she didn't know is that podcasts need time. Podcasts need time to grow. So Amanda Bynes and Paul Siemiński podcast. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will automatically come. That is what Amanda Bynes should bear in mind. So podcasts is one of the ways through which many people are making millions online. And a podcast needs time to build. First of all, to get the audience, and then once you have the audience, for you to get the guests. Guests will only come if you have the audience. So Amanda should know that. And if she knows that, she should better keep building the podcast, because guests will obviously come to a podcast later on down the road. That is it for tonight. See you in the next episode. If you are new, please subscribe.